Hey small groups, how are you doing tonight? So excited this week because we are starting our new series on spiritual warfare, and we've called the series This Means War. And so this Sunday I looked at the idea that the struggle is real, because I think often in our Christian life we go through life kind of dealing with things in a natural sight kind of way. We see a physical problem, so therefore we look for a physical solution. However, what I was proposing was, what if the thing that you are contending with did not find its origin in the physical, but rather it found its origin in the spiritual, and therefore could be there could be a need for some serious spiritual warfare. This last week, myself and Louise, we had the opportunity to go to the Colosseum whilst at a conference in Italy. And at the Colosseum, we obviously were blown away by the size and the scale of this arena where so much fighting happened. And you'll be familiar with the stories of gladiators. Maybe you've seen the film The Gladiator, where the gladiator will contend with a wild animal, or the gladiators will fight one another to death. You know, I got this idea is, what if there was a person in that fighting circle who was trying to live their life, but a gladiator was attacking them all the time, but they never even kind of cast their glance at the gladiator, because they were just ignoring the fact that this gladiator was trying to take them out, and they were just trying to do life as normal. And I was thinking, isn't that kind of a picture of where sometimes we can be? We're kind of just going through life, going through the motions of life, and we're just kind of trying to live to the best of our ability. But the truth is, in the Christian life, there's an onslaught of attacks from Satan. You know, Satan and his angels are constantly trying to ultimately destroy you. That's what the Bible says. That's what Jesus says, is that this thief comes in to steal, kill, and destroy. And so Satan has an agenda for your life. And I think sometimes the ceiling that we hit in our walk with God, or the ceiling that we hit in life, is actually not so physical. It's actually more spiritual. And because it's spiritual, we need to deal with it in a spiritual way. And so tonight at Small Group, we're going to kind of unpack this a little bit more. We've got 5 different sections that we're going to cover as the night goes on. But I really want to encourage you to really think about what we're talking about, and not just think about, but begin to employ some tactics to overcome the enemy. Because what I want us to become as a church is a strong spiritual entity that don't just withstand the attacks of the enemy, but come against the enemy in the spirit. And so over the coming weeks, we're going to look at how we might do that, what weapons we have, what tools we have, how we resist the enemy, all of those things. But this week is all about just awakening our senses to understand that actually we're in something much bigger. That, you know, as Paul says to the church in Ephesus, he says that our fight is not with flesh and blood, because that's sometimes how we reduce it, isn't it? We reduce it to a physical fight. But our fight is not against flesh and blood, but it's against spiritual forces or principalities and powers of the evil world. And so Paul is just trying to say to the church in Ephesus, listen, you know, this thing that we are dealing with, it's a spiritual entity. And yes, that can play out in the physical realm, but the truth is that our enemy, it's not so physical, it's actually spiritual. And so tonight, I just encourage you to come with an open heart, an open mind, and an open Bible, as we consider some of the things that I spoke about on Sunday when talking about the fact that the struggle is real. Remember tonight at Small Group to be honest with one another, to share your honest reflections, honest experiences, honest testimonies, honest struggles. Because really that's the whole point of Small Group. It's not just that we have a Bible study, it's that we do life and we get to pray for one another and encourage one another. So I encourage you tonight to come with an open heart, a soft heart, to come with an open mind and an open Bible, as we rally around this whole idea of this means war.